Hello everybody, Grandma Griggly the day. Now, this episode here is for adults only. So after B'nai Bairns gone about, because I am going to tell you about NLCS Etiquette. And it was written by Barbara Cartland in 1962. So it was not that long ago. So this was how to behave, and I'm going to read some of the things that she wrote in 1962 that we should all be listening to. There's a wee bit about good manners. Now, you have to learn how to correctly, it is important how to correctly address the Archbishop. Now, and whether a cake should be eaten with the fingers or a fork. Or when you're having tea, if you have miff or tiff, it's milking first or tea in first. We didn't arcane or kind of things. Now I'm going to skip out the video now. Now, if you're going on a journey, if the wife goes to visit for her mother or a friend, the husband should telephone the night she arrives to see if she's got there safely. If possible, he should meet her at the station or the airport when she returns. A wife should always be at home when her husband returns from a journey. If unfortunately there are other people there when he arrives, a wife should excuse herself to be alone with him for a few moments. Seeing to his comfort, asking about his travel experiences and making sure that he is not feeling out of it before she returns to her guests. Now then, so now we know. Now it says next thing. Now what a husband resents. The wives resent, this is what the wives resent in husbands, okay? Wives resent husbands who fall asleep every evening when they are alone with their families, but can be lively, interesting and conversationalists when the guests are present. Wives loathe the lack of consideration typified by leaving clothes on the floor, the bathroom damp and dirty, and cigarette ash everywhere. Now what's what the wives do not like, but this is what the man is do not like. A husband is repelled by a wife who nags or treats him alternately as a child, an idiot, a brute and a tyrant. He resents a wife who doesn't bother to look smart and attractive in the house, but slops about in curling pins, down at heel slippers and laddered stockings, with a shining nose and no lipstick. So there you go, this is what a man resents. Now, the familiarity between a man and a wife. Familiarity is said to breed contempt. Certainly, intimacy can encourage lack of consideration. That is no lady, that is my wife, a silly joke. But it unfortunately reflects the feelings of many husbands. And I'll come back to this in here, which is, and this is our neighbours about, but this is about lovemaking. Okay. Now, lovemaking. Women must remember that the act of surrender does not necessarily mean they should abandon all modesty. What often happens is that having once capitulated their bodies, they are ready to give themselves without invitation or any pretense at being elusive. The man takes fright at the avalanche of emotionalism and they lose him. So now you know. If are you ones that have lost your man, it's because you've had an avalanche of emotion. Okay. The act of love, in which there need be no reserve, no barriers, no restrictions, should be followed by the woman putting on her elusiveness with her clothes. She should always appear to be the nymph fleeing from the satyr, even if she doesn't run very fast. Every time a man makes love to a woman, he believes himself to be the conqueror and the victor. He wishes too always to be the hunter and not the hunted. There's me, but I'm going to get it anywhere. The next thing, now money. It is insulting to regard a wife as a kept woman. She is entitled to have her own income for her own personal needs and to spend it without question and without inquests. The nicest gesture of respect a husband can give to his wife is to regard her as his financial partner. In the marriage, a spontaneous, regular allowance of 5 shillings a week is an indication of better mannered marriage than £5 which has to be wheedled and explained. Now, let's check. Anyway, talk. Ask sex. Sex snobbery is probably the most objectionable of all feminine behaviour traits in marriage. It is a perfect example of snobbery. It inevitably takes one or two forms, or sometimes even manages to combine both. The theory runs that in the lines of sex is common, dirty urge found among the lower classes who's only interested in beer and bed. Now, you know, learned a lot here. Now, if it's the next page, now there's a whole book. Again, I can only read little bitties. Now, if you've got staff living in, you know, here is the order of procedure and the manner in which they are addressed. Housekeeper, almost an extinct race, is called Mrs. by her employers and staff whether she's married or not. Now, the cook housekeeper is called Mrs. by her employers, and the staff, whether she's married or not, is speaking to the staff of the cook housekeeper or employer, say Mrs. X. The butler, well, we'll argue with them. More usually a manservant these days is called by his surname only by his employers, and Mr. by the staff. So, what a lot of things that we have to ken. Now, if you've got male guests to stay, this is what happens. The formal routine is when a guest arrives at an important house is as follows. His luggage is carried upstairs, unpacked. If he arrives at 6 o'clock, his dinner jacket is put ready on the chair for him to change into. His evening shoes, socks, underclothes and shirt with the studs all ready in the cuffs are also put out. A bath is drawn, ready for the bathroom, and the towel is put on the chair. But if you haven't got staff, if you have no help, your husband should offer to carry your guests' cases upstairs. Make sure the guest knows where the bath towel is and to see that there is a new cake of soap for him to use, fresh towels and clean bath mat. Nothing about wifeys, just how the man is, okay? Now this here is it's about your married couples in public. Nothing is worse manners than to sit in a restaurant with your husband or wife to say nothing. Married couples with dull, bored, sullen faces are all too familiar. If you are out with your marriage partner, please make an effort to look amused and entertained. A French woman will always flirt with her husband in public, however long she's been married. To look bored is, after all, advertising the failure of your personal relationship, even if you remain tied together. Now, I could tell you an awful lot more, but this is an education. This is Barbara Cartland, 1962 Etiquette. Now, I hope you've learned something in it. This is Grandma Griggly. Tatty bye.